Happy Thursday, everybody. Today I'm going to do my most disappointing reads of 2017 as well as the books that I did not finish in 2017. Now, these are books that I went into with fairly high expectations or thinking that I would like, and they either fell mediocre or fell really flat for me. This is not going to be the same as my worst or least favorite books of 2017. I have a variety of reasons why these are on my list, and I'm going to go into them in my video. I hope you guys respect my opinions. The first one I'm going to talk about was actually my last read of 2017, and it took me damn near the whole year to get through it. That is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. But because of how much I loved Illuminae, that's why this is on this list. This is the second book in the Illuminae Files, a young adult sci-fi mixed media series, and this book just fell flat for me. I thought the main characters were not as mature, and the humor just missed the mark for me. However, I did enjoy the plot, and the format is still working for me, but I was a little disappointed when I finished this book because I loved Illuminae so much. I still have a little bit of hope for the last book, but I'm not going to go into that with as much expectation as I went into this one. Next up is East of West Volume 5, the 5th installment in the East of West graphic novel series by Hickman, Dragotta, and Martin. This series, the first 3 volumes are so good. I love this series. It's an apocalyptic western that's just gritty and gruesome and for some reason just appeals to me. But this installment, I felt like there was nobody to root for, and it was just all just like shit the whole entire time, and I was just getting sick of it. I did enjoy the 6th installment, which I recently read, but this volume, I was going into it really expecting greatness like the other volumes, and it fell flat for me. I ended up giving it like a 2.5 stars. The last most disappointing read on my list is going to be Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This book, I had a lot of expectations. I really enjoyed the first 3 books in this series, and Queen of Shadows is where it all kind of turns around for me. I ended up giving this, I think, a 3 out of 5 stars. It's still good, but the way that the characters are kind of re-characterized, they don't really develop. They're just like entirely new characters in this book. Really rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm going to finish this series, but this is the book that kind of where it went all downhill for me, or started the tipping point of going downhill. Empire of Storms was also a 3 out of 5 stars read for me, but after this one I didn't go into it with as high expectations as I went into this one. Now this next little section is going to be my DNF books. I only have 3 on here, and DNF means I did not finish them for various reasons. I'm actually pretty excited that I only DNF'd 3 books this year. I made a pledge to myself last year to put down books that I wasn't enjoying and just not finish them, and don't push through them if you're not enjoying them. And I'm glad that only 3 of them made it onto this list. And the first one is The Gunslinger by Stephen King. This is the first book in his Dark Tower series. Now, I have never read any Stephen King before, and I've heard that it's kind of a mistake to go into Stephen King with this series, but I did it anyways. My boyfriend was reading it at the time. The movie was about to come out. I decided to jump into it, and I really did not like it. I DNF'd it probably halfway through. I can't even remember. I just remember there weren't a lot of ladies, which is a huge issue for me, and it felt like it was trying too hard to be metaphorical, if that makes sense. It was just, not a fan. I just didn't like it, and I didn't want to finish it. I didn't want to push through it. Not for me. I think I will end up eventually picking up a Stephen King horror novel, but his sci-fi fantasy stuff is just probably not my favorite. Then we have Trouble Makes a Comeback by Stephanie Tromley. I read the first book this year, Trouble is a Friend of Mine, which is a young adult mystery novel, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It had Veronica Mars elements. It had other elements that I really enjoyed. But this one, for some reason, felt like an entirely different author. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe she rushed to write the sequel really quickly because the first one was getting a lot of popularity, but not a fan, felt disjointed, didn't really like the characters as much as I liked them in the first one, if that makes sense. I DNF'd it. And the last one you may hear me talk about, because I've talked about it in a few videos, a wrap up and a vlog, that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I did not read this at the right time in my life. I was so stressed, I was so busy, and it just could not keep my attention. There were not enough ladies. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to it just because it's gonna remind me of a time in my life where it was not the best months of my life, and so I DNF'd it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. This series is not for me, so there it is. That is it for my did not finish and most disappointing reads for 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!